Hi, this is Matthew Robert Payne. This is a prophetic destiny blueprint for Anita. Anita is becoming a really good friend of mine. I've only known her through phone calls from a service place that provides me a service. She's a receptionist, but she's become a friend, and I can ring in regularly and talk to her. She's not a Christian, and in a Christian sense of born again Christian and churchgoers and stuff, but she's a very beautiful person. I believe that even though she doesn't go to church, I believe Jesus is going to take her to heaven. This is what I call a prophetic destiny blueprint. You can listen to this, and if you're interested in one for yourself, you can go to the link below in the description tag in this video and go and order one for yourself. They're worth $150. This is for a personal friend of mine, and she's certainly worth that money for me to be able to do it for her for nothing. But you'll see as I do this that it's certainly worth $150. You could get 200 prophecies over your life by a Christian prophet and still not get something as extensive. So normally I go for 9 key things, but I could probably go on and list 30 things. It's the only thing is that when I've listed 9, it's pretty much a sensory overload for a person, and they wonder how they're going to fit the whole 9 things into their life, let alone 30. So, it could be said, if you don't have goals, if you don't have targets, if you don't have dreams, you miss, and you can't achieve something that you're not planning for. And it could be said that if you don't know what your destiny is meant to be, you might not be able to achieve it. This will be a lot of this will be new to Anita, and some of it will be true that I've already discussed with her. So I try and make these go for 30 minutes, but I don't stretch them out to make 30 minutes. If it only lasts for 25 minutes, I'm fine with that, and I'm sure Anita will be too. So number 1, a writer of at least 10 books. So I've got 4 of them listed here, and I'll speak about them. I feel one is on sexuality. A former escort teaches you how to be a lady in public and a lover in the bedroom. Women's sexuality, how to be a lady in public and a lover, an experienced lover in the bedroom. I feel Anita, I've given it away now, used to be an escort, and she worked for 4 years as an escort, and she's a beautiful person, and she would have some good tips for a woman in that arena. Many Christian women and sadly the Christian church teaches that sex is only for making babies, and many Christian women and all sorts of women can be frigid and nervous about the sexual makeup of their bodies, and so I feel Anita would have some really good tips and really good advice, and she's a very beautiful woman, and she that I've been told by a girl who knows her, and so I feel that she'd have a lot to offer people with that. Now, number 2 is book 2. I haven't got the 10 names of the books, but there's 4 of them. Sustainable marriages. I feel that Anita's been married for a while, and I feel that she could give some healthy tips into how to have a healthy and sustainable marriage. And I feel that she could teach many young women and even tips for men. But I see Anita really having a strong woman's influence in nearly everything she does. Will affect women in a powerful way. Not that she can't speak to men. She's a beautiful friend to me and one of my best friends. So she's going to impact men also. But I feel that she's got a special Christian term, anointing. But for someone who's not Christian, she's got a special power when it comes to influencing women. Book number 3, living from your core essence. I feel Anita is sort of, you would, as a Christian, you would describe her as a little spiritual and new age. And this is right down her center. She's a beautiful, tremendous, loving, beautiful woman. And it would be very easy for anyone to love her. And if you're into hiding yourself and not being real and you're a dishonest sort of person, you wouldn't love her, because talking to her would be like a mirror. You'd start to see all your defects in her, and she'd be too pure for you, so you mightn't like her. But I feel that she's got a really good spiritual book in Living from Your Core Essence, and I can see that book being filled with quotes from all different thought leaders and spiritual leaders, and her favourite quotes, and not just quoting the quote and then writing 4 pages about what that quote means, and quoting another quote, writing 4 pages about what that means and how she lives out that quote. Book number 4, being a light to the world. Anita shines brightly. She's a shining light, and we all need to be a shining light. We all need to be little ray of sunshine is coming to the world. You know, we don't have songs like that. Just a little ray of sunshine. We don't have songs like that if it didn't exist. You know, Jesus brought a bright light into the world. In John, it says, and the light came into the world, but people preferred the darkness. So all of us can irradiate the essence and the spirit of Jesus. Even a non-Christian, even someone who's not a typical religious Christian, can radiate the essence of Jesus Christ. I've actually seen the glory of God, like the shining presence of God on non-Christians. And so God can inhabit the lives of non-Christians even before pre-Christian. And so I can see that as a 4th book, being a light to the world. Anita, if you click on the See More on YouTube, you can go to the description tag, and in the description tag I'll have all this written out, so you can look at it, come back to it and just look at the notes and say, okay, that's what he was talking about. Point number 2, she'll be a businesswoman. I can see internet businesses. I can see you starting internet businesses. I could even almost see you and Amber working in conjunction on your Destiny Blueprint, with you together, putting together the marketplace for all these fashion designers all around the world. I can see you and Amber sort of working in partnership, putting that internet business together. I can see you designing a really beautiful gift shop online, and sourcing products, sourcing really great gifts on the gift shop. The woman on Shark Tank has got a thing called Redbubble, and it's like a gift shop online, and I can see you doing that in a great way. And I can see you in your own suburb, wherever you live, wherever your home suburb is. I can see you starting a feature store that's mentioned on the website, that you can come into the store and shop for these products and handle these products in person. But I feel that there'll only be one feature store in Sydney, and you could, bring out like stores in every suburb, but bricks and mortar stores with rent and everything can be expensive. But I see 10 or 20 businesses online doing really well. I can see the business that you're working in at the moment. I can see you running one of them online also, and doing a better job than the one you're working with, which is really good. Okay, so number 3, I can see a business coach and a life coach. So we can say that, we'll say that in point 3, but there's almost 2 separate points. So as you roll out these businesses online and are a success, then I could see you coaching businesses, how to launch a business, how to get a trademark, how to get a website, how to build a website, how to build traffic, how to advertise, how to source products, how to manage staff, how to do everything. I can see you coaching businesses, and I can also see you running like a side business, one of your businesses, the internet businesses, being a life coach. We've always got to watch his hand staying here. So I can see you also entering into life coaching, teaching people what their destiny is, directing a person to me, for instance, to do a destiny blueprint on them, and then helping and walking with them hand in hand and helping them to play out and live out their prophetic destiny, one by one, each of the 9 points, helping them walk in and activate each of those things. So I feel that you've got so much more in you than you know, Anita. I've never seen you. I get attracted to a person's spirit, to their core essence, to who they are, that little spirit that came from heaven and will return to heaven. I get attracted to a spirit, and you're really a bright, shining light. I look forward to meeting you with Amber Thursday week. And so a business coach and a life coach. Now, some people make a whole business. That's their whole business, being a life coach and coaching people, and they get thousands. I know prophets in the States who can charge businesses $20,000 an hour just for coaching skills and just for important God decisions. And I can teach you how to have this gift of mine and how to move in this gift. So I could teach you really simply how to do these prophetic destiny blueprints yourself, and you could do one for a person and then help them step into it. Number 4, I can see you as a public speaker. I can see you being interviewed for each of your books on TV. I can see you traveling and speaking. Now, some people like do life coaching, public speaking, and books, and that's all they do. But I can see you speaking, being a public speaker on business, on women's issues, on sustainable marriages, on anything you wrote about, and business and all sorts of things. So I can even see you, if I write it here, it'll be in the notes. I can even see you, I've got to write it down before I say it. I can see you also being the conference organiser. So I can see you being one of 4 keynote speakers at a conference, and you organise the whole conference. You put together the 3 other speakers, and you suited the theme of the conference around what you wanted to speak on. And I see you organising the whole conference, doing the ticketing, doing the marketing, and bringing in the whole conference and being one of the keynote speakers in the conference. And I see you doing this in multiple cities and even around the world. So some person could just be doing that with their life. But I see that you're a person a lot like me. That's why I love you. That you're not interested in just one thing. You want to do multiple things at once. Number 5, as you grow in popularity, I can see you starting a podcast. I don't know how to do a podcast. It's pretty hard, but you can certainly get someone to teach you the mechanics of how to do it. And I can see you interviewing successful people and business people. So I can see you interviewing authors. Authors would always love to get on your podcast and get press for their books. I can see you interviewing successful people, and I can see you interviewing successful business people. And your subjects that you'd be interviewing people all flow out of the books you've written, all flow out of what you do in public speaking, all flow out of your business consulting, business coaching, life coaching, all around those sort of subjects. But the idea of a podcast is it's like a free thing for people. People can just access and listen and become a follower of yours. And it actually sells your brand. It sells you to all the people, and the people often buy your books and go to your conferences and do everything, get involved in everything that you're doing. So it's like a half an hour advertisement for you as a person, but you're giving people heaps of value because people are seeing things. And you can even get it shot that when you're interviewing the person, you can actually have it on video. So you can have it at YouTube videos and podcasts, and that would advertise it for free. Okay, number 6, I can see you as an investor in businesses in the future. As a lot of money is flowing, when my John Lennon book is flying off the shelves and millions of dollars are coming through, I can see us working together, Amber and us and your husband, and I can see you as an investor like Shark Tank, the show on TV. I can see you having businesses apply to you that have got patents and products and business ideas, and you going through them and sifting them and investing in certain businesses and funding certain businesses and starting up certain businesses and being in partnership with them and applying your business skills to it so that they're a success. I'll tell you an interesting statistic that something like 93% of businesses fail in the first 5 to 10 years, but 95% of McDonald's stores are a success. So McDonald's is like, I don't know, 10,000 times more successful than the average business. And so when you're very good at business, you'll be able to help them with their training and their systems and their marketing and everything. And as a business coach, you'd be very good at investing in businesses and helping them. Now, being an investor in business, it won't be about the money for you. It'll be about empowering people and helping people succeed in life and be a success in life. And it's like I can see when you've had great success and you're changing a lot of lives and you're really happy now, but when you're really happy and really successful, this will be your way of giving back, and it'll be more about giving back and helping people, giving people a hand up than making a lot of money as a partner in their businesses. Number 7, I can see you becoming an advisor to important people stemming out of the life coaching. So, this may seem like really like crazy to you, but I can see you consulting CEOs and consulting even government officials and mayors and people in authority. I can see you consulting and being an advisor to them, that they can hire you as an advisory consultant to come and look at a project and weigh in with your expertise and your knowledge into their thing. And they just drop $50,000 on you for a week's work because they know that your advice is what they need. They need even McDonald's. I knew a lady that was a consultant to McDonald's. McDonald's has got the best system in the world, and I've worked in 4 of their stores. They've got the best training system in the world and one of the most successful franchises in the world. But this woman was a consultant to McDonald's, consulting McDonald's on how to do it better. So every industry, every business, every smart business can do with a pair of eyes from outside to bring in consultancy. And I can see you becoming a high-paid consultant. Once again, it isn't the money that drives you. It's not the money, the $50,000 for a week that drives you. It's your belief in their business. It's the businesses that apply to you. You choose which ones you work with, and you want to go and expand their business because you believe in their business. You believe in their brand. And so I can see you doing that, and that's really amazing, isn't it? So advisor to businesses and important people and all sorts of people. Number 8, this is really interesting. This sounds right up your line. Number 8, women's help service line and referral service. So I can see you running like a crisis line for women, and I know they probably exist already, like women's shelters and stuff probably have crisis lines, but this is like a inbound counselling line, like Lifeline, just for women, and the women ring in, and no matter what their issue is, you can refer them on the phone or even bring them in for a consultancy, and then refer them out to affiliated services. Some of the services you may run yourself and finance yourself. Some of the services done by good people like Salvation Army or something, and you run this professional thing that from the moment the woman rings in to the time when her problem is fixed, you fix it up. So they can just ring, and then they can be fixed. So if a woman's got a husband that's threatening to kill her and it's always beating her up, you can have someone round at her place, standing guard and packing up her things and moving her out to a safe zone, and get her counselling, get her new housing, get her registered with Social Security, get her children and stuff in new schools and relocated, and just like the woman just places one call and it's fixed. And the world really needs that. And this would be the tremendous money that you're generating would come in to fund this sort of thing. And women in crisis. I'm not saying that you couldn't have a men in crisis centre, but it would be a separate thing if you chose to do that. Maybe your husband might choose to do that. Number 9, when I was homeless, I didn't meet many homeless women. Women seem to always be able to get help somewhere, but there's a lot of women in crisis, I'm sure. Number 9, and this is like a college. This is like your own college. How the Holy Spirit, how God gave it to me. He called it empowerment centres. And this would be a bricks and mortar sort of place that you'd own. This is sort of something that I'd work in partnership with too in the future. I can see Amber doing this too. And in the empowerment centres that have courses, that have personal mentoring, that have life coaching, and that have counselling. And all the courses would be in-house courses. They'd be all certificate certified courses that someone can get a certificate or a diploma. That you can have paid personal mentoring and voluntary personal mentoring, that people can come in on a voluntary roster and mentor people. You can have life coaching services, different life coaches working in your centre, and you can have spiritual and in-depth counselling in the centre. So someone who just needs empowerment in life can come and get it fixed at your centre. Now, all of these things can be all online too. So if you had one of these empowerment centres in Sydney, someone from Brisbane could do the courses, do the personal mentoring, do the life coaching and the counselling, all through Skype, all through the internet, face-to-face, but have someone in your Sydney centre Skyping with them and doing it. So you'd have one, I could see you having one in Sydney and then one in every capital city, and then mentoring and Skyping people all over the world. And that's just one, like if you saw that one just by itself, like that's enough for me, Matthew. Why do you have to give me a whole 9? But you got the whole 9. So I can see me and you and Amber and your husband and lots of other friends of yours and friends of mine. I can see us all working together, and we can do this thing together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And as this world comes down around us, we can still be standing. Nothing's gonna stop us now. So I feel that way towards you. Anita, you're beautiful, and I'm really, 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 really looking forward to seeing you Thursday week. I look forward to seeing you get fat on a nice caramel slice or something with lots of cream. I look forward to getting a drink with lots of cream in it and a cake with lots of cream. And I look forward to seeing a whole lot of calories go in your body. And I look forward to seeing you smile and laugh and plenty of calories going into that body of yours. And imagine you got a body like Amber, like stunning with not any fat cells on it. So I hope that you're encouraged by this, and I'll load it up. It went 25 minutes, so I had a feeling that it'd be shorter than 30 minutes. And I won't speak anymore, and I hope you can show this to Amber, because I think that you and me and your husband and Amber are going to know each other for the rest of our lives. And it's going to be a fun ride. God bless.